the ZPM political party, which has been newly formed, said that why all along M.N.F Congress, M.N.F Congress, let us have an alternative government. And because of that, we were overthrown in the last election. Now people are clamoring we did the wrong thing. A broken vessel simply put together does not hold water. From the principle of the M.N.F Foundation, we included all the Kuki-Zo, our brothers and sisters in Manipur, and all the Chinese people. This we included all as a Mizo ethnic group. When they are in Burma, they call themselves Chins. When we are in Mizoram, we call ourselves Mizos. In Manipur, some were Kukis, some were Mars, some were Paite, etc., etc. We all come from the same family. And from the beginning, our main target was unification of all the Mizo people under one administration. Chief Minister Biren Singh said that Mr. Zoramthanga should not say these things. I said that in the year that Mr. Biren Singh himself was born, this party already has born. Whether the harm is inflicted upon the Meitei people or the non-Meitei people, it is inhuman, and we totally object to this. But as far as the choice of the people is concerned, it is up to the Kuki-Zo ethnic group people to decide in which kind of political administration they want to be. If they decide that we should have a separate administration from Manipur, the Constitution of India permits that, but it has to be sanctioned by the parliament.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the PP show. I'm so very glad to meet the Honorable former Chief Minister Zoramthanga today. I'm so glad to have him on my talk show. Kapuchi Bayong. How are you?
Well, I'm fine.
Thank you for being my special guest today.
Thank you.
I have a few questions for you, so let's get started.
Yeah.
All right. My first question is, for those who might not be knowing, can you briefly explain the history of M.N.F, its role in the signing of the Mizoram Accord, and its formation as a political party?
You know, in order to do this, I have written my autobiography in 2 volumes. To cover the 2 volumes in one question, it takes a lot of time. But to make it short, as you know, the Mizo people, before the advent of the British, we all settled here in Manipur, in Burma. At that time, it was East Pakistan, let us say, and Mizoram. But after the partition of the British, we were divided into Myanmar or Burma, and then inside India also into Manipur, Mizoram, and Bangladesh side, and so on. This is the history. When the British were about to leave before the independence of India, and we were not included in British India, we were an excluded area from the Constitution of 1935 Act. So those who were not included in India, they were given an option. Because there are many states in India, like the Kashmir, like Hyderabad, and then even the whole of Pakistan itself were given an option in the British India. So there they have a decision to form this. Some become the East Pakistan, some become the West Pakistan, and quite a lot of them were included. They had an option to be included in India. And as for the Mizos, because the Indian independence came in 1947, up to 1946, political parties were prohibited in Mizoram. So in politics, 1 year old people in politics have to decide their final and future destiny. So they are quite at a loss. And one group said that let us join Burma. The other group said, let us join East Pakistan. And the other group said, let us join India. And the other group said, let us be under the crown colony of the British. And then one group also said, let us get independence. there were 5 different ideas there. So the accredited leaders of the Mizos assembled together with the superintendent of the Mizoram. So British superintendent was a ruler in Mizoram. And then there they sent a letter to the governor of Assam. At the time, more or less indirectly, we were under Assam also. So they requested them that if at all we have to be in India or otherwise, after 10 years, we shall be permitted to make another option. But anyhow, that letter, it is not replied. So when the day of the Indian independence is about to come, somebody tried to, who are pro-Indians, somebody tried to raise the flag of India in Aizawl. But the other group said that if you try to raise that flag, we will shoot you. They're preparing with their guns. Then the superintendent, not the deputy commissioner of the district at that time, it was called superintendent. The superintendent, knowing the gravity of the situation, told them that Indian flag has not arrived. So the tussle was avoided. So in that, simply the British government departed. And there is a political vacuum. Indian administration simply steps in and we become in India. That was how we became included in India, not by the choice of the people of Mizoram. That is why when we had a meeting with the government of Indian representative, before underground and after underground also, we told them that India was created by the preamble in which you said, we, the people of India, solemnly resolve to create India into a sovereign democratic republic. And through our representative, we give to ourselves this constitution. That is the womb, the birthplace of India. But we were not represented there. If at all, if we have to be in India, we like to say something that Mizoram should be protected by this and that. But we have not had any saying. That is why how the political tussle started. And because of many circumstances, then the trouble started in 1966, March 1st. From there on, Mizoram became the most disturbed state. And after a lot of efforts, we had a lot of negotiations with the government of India. And at last, in 1986, June 30th, peace accord was signed. And in there, we put that this Article 371G, which has now become a part of the Constitution, protection of the Mizos, the culture, the religion, and then the land, etc., should be included here as a special protection for Mizoram. And that was included there, and we become part of India. That was the rough history.
It's always good to know our history, and I'm so glad that at this age you're able to narrate just like a memory verse. So may God bless you and grant you long life. Let's go ahead with the next question, okay? M.N.F has been a key player in Mizo politics, and although it is currently in the opposition, many speak of its impending return to power. According to you, what were some of the reasons why M.N.F lost in the last election, and what steps is it taking to win back the trust of the people?
You see, when the state of Mizoram was formed in 1987, from there on, there was first, it was in the election, M.N.F government. And next time, Congress government. Next time, M.N.F government. Next time, Congress government, and so on. So this PM political party, which has been newly formed, said that why all along M.N.F Congress, why should we not have an alternative government? Can we not afford to have another form of government other than Congress and M.N.F? Then that makes a big wave. And because of that wave, let us have an alternative government. Let us see what they can do as a trial period, not Congress and M.N.F alone, but as a trial, let us have another alternative. With that wave, it came like anything. And so people don't care whether the candidate is a good one or a bad one. They don't care who that person is. They simply say, let us change the government, let us change the government, let us change the government. And because of that, we were overthrown in the last election by this newly created ZPM party. So, but anyhow, since it is a conglomeration of different groups, it is like a broken clay vessel. Different pieces put together again, tied with a string, not the original pot. It does not hold water. So now also, hardly 1 year have gone. Today is 8. Yeah. Today is 1 year old. Now people are clamoring, we did the wrong thing to taste this, because if the trial period is only 1 year or 2 years, it's all right. But the term is 5 years. It's too long. We have made a mistake.
Oh.
Because these people, they come from some group, another people come from another group, 3, 4 groups assembled together without a cohesion in the party itself. That's why a broken vessel simply put together does not hold water. So now, in the next election, it is a sure thing that people said that these people will overthrow. M.N.F is the only alternative, because now Congress down there in Delhi, they were more or less have done so badly, almost finished to form the government in the central. Now here in Mizoram, out of the 40 seats, they got only 1 seat. Next day, next election, God knows how much they will know. It could be nil also. So they were not much to say of as a political party. So if the present PM party is overthrown, then the only viable political party that can form the government is M.N.F. Therefore, even quite a lot of people said that they will not last even this term of 5 years. That is what the people say.
So there is an assurance that you will come back to power, and I hope that you will not disappoint the people who look up to you, right?
Yeah.
So my next question is, much like the Nagas, the Kuki-Zo brotherhood have existed across national borders since pre-independence and have only been divided recently after the creation of modern borders. The recent initiative to scrap F.M.R and fence the borders might seem like the right thing to do from the center's perspective. However, it is non-compatible for the Kuki-Zo peoples. What is your comment on this? Can scrapping F.M.R ever be the correct solution, yes or no, and why?
Well, the point is not, it is not practicable. Border fencing along the Bangladesh border, they've been doing for more than 15 years it will be now. But it is meaningless. So it lasts for 1 year or so. As we have seen in the case of the Bangladesh, if it is a plain area and formally fence there, there would have been a meaning. But in the hilly, rugged areas, try to fence the border here is like try to fence a bird. It will fly like that. Here, no need to object. It is not practicable. And as far as F.M.R is concerned, once the border fencing is impractical, F.M.R is impractical. Because it's a line drawn along a small river which can be crossed at any time. No border guards will be there holding their hands all along the border all the time. So anybody can cross. So these, whether we like it or not, it is meaningless. It is not practical.
The term Mizo is a newly created term to unite all the people of the land into one common platform. According to my understanding, the Kukis of Manipur were originally included in this common platform. The reason why I say this is because of the involvement of the Kuki-Zo peoples during the Mizo movement. Could you please clarify if this is accurate and to what extent?
From our ancient history and also from the principle of the M.N.F Foundation, we included all the Kukis and our brothers and sisters in Manipur and all the Chin Hills people. Some people there in the Bangladesh Chittagong Hill tracts. These we included all as a Mizo ethnic group. When they are in Burma, they call themselves Chins. When we are in Mizoram, we call ourselves Mizos. In Manipur, you have different names. Some were Kukis, naming after the clans. Some were Mars, some were Paite, etc., etc. But more or less, we all come from the same family. And for example, as far as the clan is concerned, Chongtu is one of the good tribe of a Kuki. Many of my cabinet ministers and our movement leaders and fighters are Chongtus. So there was no difference at all. Therefore, we regarded all these people. We speak one language, but a different dialect, because we lived in the area commanded by the Burmese government, commanded by the somewhere Bengali-speaking people, Manipur-speaking people, and different dialects emerged. That is why this. And from the beginning, we said that unification of the Mizo nationalities spreading everywhere. This is the main foundation of the M.N.F. That is why when I said this, and when Chief Minister Biren Singh also said that Mr. Zoramthanga should not say these things, I said that in the year that Mr. Biren Singh himself was born, this party already has born. And in that, our main target was unification of all the Mizo people under one administration. But Burma is a foreign country. Bangladesh is a foreign country. So we call them, Mr. Laldenga called this as Iridenta, unredeemed land. We don't touch it during the movement. But inside India, Article 3 of the Indian Constitution permit that anybody in India, a new state can be formed from a state, and a state can be separated. For example, we are all under Assam. From Assam, how many states have emerged? Mizoram has come, Meghalaya has come, Nagaland has come, and then Arunachal Pradesh also has come. And in India also, quite a lot of new states have come. It is the constitutionally permitted process. That is why when we have a peace talk with the government of India, they said that this unification of the Mizo inhabited area inside India to form one administrative area. This constitution, Article 3, made a statement in these things. It is possible. Therefore, government of India will not make any comment on this line. It is included there in our peace accord. Therefore, this, if the Manipur tribal people of the Mizo ethnic group likes to be there in Manipur or in Assam or in Tripura or in Mizoram, it is their constitutional right. Constitution Article 3 permitted all these things. And quite a lot of newborn states and union territories have already come. Nobody can confute this. But it depends upon the people. It depends upon the choice of the people. It is our stand from 63 years ago, more correctly, even before that, that we, the Mizo people, living in different parts of the world, we like to unite together and to form an administrative area, at least within the Constitution of India, since that was permitted by the Constitution.
Looking at the current situation in Manipur, what is your personal opinion regarding the crisis from a humanitarian angle, and what is the solution?
Well, from the humanitarian point of view, whether the harm is inflicted upon the Meitei people or the non-Meitei people, it is inhuman, and we totally object to this. But as far as the choice of the people is concerned, as I have said, it is up to the Zo ethnic group, Kuki-Zo ethnic group people to decide in which state or in which kind of political administration they are to be. It is up to them. It is their constitutional right. Let them decide. It is up to them. That is why when we have a peace talk with the government of India, our demand all along is that at least within the Union of India, all the Mizo inhabited areas, like the Manipur people of our brothers and sisters, should form a new state of Mizoram. We claim that. But Rajiv Gandhi said that you claim that Manipur tribal people of Mizoram side to be included in the state of Mizoram. But the people for whom you are crying for, they remain silent during all this peace talk. That is correct. From Manipur, nobody cried anything that we should be together under one administration. So anyhow, well, the time is not ripe yet. It is up to the people of Zo ethnic group there in Manipur to decide where they will be. But anyhow, at the time, there was a ready-made union territory of Mizoram. So if we are to include some areas to be under Mizoram, then it will need a consultation from that state itself. It will take a very, very long time. That is why Rajiv Gandhi himself said that after all, Constitution Article 3 permitted all these things. It is up to the people. But the people for whom you are crying for, they remain silent. So now let us go to the Mizo Union Territory to be the state of Mizoram. And we have no alternative but to agree to that. Because you people from Manipur, you all kept silent during all these things. That is the main reason. But anyhow, as I have said, since from our forefathers, we were one people, speaking only a slightly different dialect. That is still the stand of the M.N.F, that as far as Indian Union is concerned, we should be all together under one administration. But we cannot impose that idea upon any other group. It is up to the decision of that people itself.
I have one last question.
Yes.
In your esteemed opinion, is the Kuki-Zo demand for a separate administration constitutionally defined as union territory with legislature under Article 239A appropriate and viable? Or would you consider Greater Mizoram, the original demand of Mizo National Front, more relevant and acceptable?
Well, the stand of the M.N.F. from 63, 64 years ago, I have mentioned that, and it is still our stand. But as far as the present administrative arrangement is concerned, everything should be at the hand of our Mizo-Kuki ethnic group people. Well, we welcome them to be in Mizoram, but we don't like to impose that to the people. Let the people decide. For example, you may say that if we are to have an union territory, what would be the boundary and all these things. During our meeting with Muiva and Isaac Shu, I told them, Muiva ji and Isaac Shu, we are in a contiguous area as far as our people is concerned. Let us not take the trouble of deciding which area should go to this or that. Let the people who live there decide. If they like to go to that side, let them go. If the people like to go to this side, let them go. Let it be the choice of the people. Therefore, the Mizo ethnic group people in Manipur, if they decide that we should have a separate administration for Manipur and we should have union territory with a legislature, well, that's very, very reasonable. The Constitution of India permits that, but it has to be sanctioned by the parliament, only that much.
Thank you so much for answering all my questions. I came all the way from Nagaland to know your opinion, and I'm so glad. Thank you so much for your time. May God bless you and your family, and I can't wait for you to come back to power, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Navan